the career opportunities in legal education, and those students who are doing their LLB and they are passing out and getting registered as an advocate. So, what special skills they do have or they should have? This is what I would be speaking with you. So, regarding career opportunities in legal education, after completing 12th or 10 plus 2, many students they find it very difficult what to do next. And picking the right career is also a very, very important decision, because this is something which will take you and which will decide your future. But at the same time, which option you choose, it is very stressful also, because you need to think and you need to consider too much before choosing any career option. So I'll tell you most that you must choose for a degree which gives you many options for your future career, and also the area which gives you some interest in which you can do something more, the areas that gives you some more confidence to pursue, and that is supported by the right personality traits of yours, your skills, your competencies, where you can establish your career objective, and you can also identify where you have to go, what you have to follow, and to reach your dreams, rather, I should say. So, to pursue a career and to reach your dreams with the most popular degree, that is the career in law. In India, you know that we have law degrees of different durations, like 3 years law degree that is called LLB. We have the 5 years law degrees as an integrated degree. These are given as a PALLB, PBALLB, BCom LLB, and in some of the NLUs, you find that BSc LLB is also there. So for admission, also there are different eligibility criteria. You could study law after the 12th by taking admission in 5 year integrated law programs. And admission to these undergraduate law courses is generally made on the basis of the entrance examinations. So for that, there are national level common law entrance like CLAT test you may be aware about, which is conducted by the National Law Universities Consortium. Various law schools, they also conduct their admission test, or some of these universities, central universities and state universities or specific colleges, they also conduct their entrance exam for admission in the LLB programs. Some of the colleges, private colleges, they do take the admission on the basis of merit. But one thing is to be made clear here, that the BCI directs, Bar Council of India, which is the regulatory body, that directs that there must be entrance test for the admission. So different universities, they conduct their own entrance examinations. Some universities also accepts the CLAT scores for the admission purposes, because if they are not conducting their own entrance exam for admission, then the students who appeared in the CLAT exam conducted by the national law universities, then their score of the CLAT, that would be accepted by the university. So that is also one of the way to take the admission in the LLB program. And when you take this course for law, then you see that this law degree that comes with a good pay and a lot of opportunity, because law is an expansive sector with various opportunities, depending on your skill, depending on your interest. Because whatever interest is of yours, like you want to be in practice, you want to be in litigation, you want to be in services, you want to be in judiciary. So it depends on your interest, it depends on your skills also, because advocacy skill is very important. So you can pursue a unique career in the field of law, and the most prominent and most important, and I should say most lucrative career option in law. That I can divide in four sectors. So after completion of your law degree, you can think of going in any of the one sector, because broadly, if we see that there are four sectors after completion of your law degree in which you can enter into. So the first is known as the service sector. In service sector, there are various jobs opportunities in which the student can go for. Then there is a service and hiring of advocates. This is something overlapping. So you can do your individual practice also. At the same time, the others can hire you also as the advocates and can pay you also. So it is something like service and hiring of the advocate. Then third sector in which you can go for, that is self-employment, that you need not to be under any of the control or the control of any of the an employer, or you are not in the services of any of the government agency or some other agencies, private or public, whatever, and you can start your own practice as a self-employment. And the fourth sector, which needs another educational degree after doing this law degree, is the higher education, which is open for the academics, research, and teaching. So, come to the first sector, that is the service sector. In this service sector, the first and foremost, which is the dream of many of the law students, because when you ask that you have taken the admission in the law, and what is your future prospects, and what would you like to be after getting this degree, they say that I'll be in the judicial services, because this is something which is very lucrative, which is very attractive, and at the same time, it is very, very respectful also. So the first thing is the judicial service, where student after completion of the law degree can apply for the judicial services, become the judicial officer, judges. So judicial services, as I told you, is one of the most respected career in India. And if you want to be a judge, then you have to appear in the judicial service exams after graduating in the law. And you need to appear for the state level exams for judicial services. Almost all the states, they announces their vacancies for the judicial officers, judicial magistrates, as it is known, PCSJ, Public Service Commission, announces this in the states, and after completion of this process, you can be the civil judge junior division. And here you see the three stages are there for judicial services: the prelims, the mains, and then the interview. So after clearing all these three stages, one can be appointed as the civil judge junior division in any of the states. And in this exam, you see the questions which are related to the current events, English, substantive and procedural, civil and criminal law, property law, contract law, and other topics which are there. They are included in the exams and prelims as well as in the mains. So this is the first thing which you can do in the service sector, that is the judicial service. Then second is in the army, that is JAG, that is Judge Advocate General. So Indian Army also provides as a specialized career opportunity for law graduates. They must be eligible for the registration in the Bar Council of India or the State Bar Council. So after clearing all the stages of the SSB, Staff Selection Board, and the medical examination, the physical fitness, and the psychological aptitude test, interviews, everything that is the part of selection in this Judge Advocate General. The selected candidates are sent for the training. Training is held at the officers training academy, Chennai, or maybe some other places which have been decided. And finally, the selected law graduates are commissioned in the army with the rank of lieutenant. So the Judge Advocate General acts as the general or legal and chief judicial officers of the army. They can be appointed. So this in service sector, the second area for the law students is JAG, that is the Judge Advocate General in army. Then in civil services, you know that civil services have always been a dream for all the graduates. UPSC, that is the Union Public Service Commission, that is the agency where from the civil service examinations are conducted, and law is there as an optional subject in the examination for IAS, IPS, etc. And the law as a subject in this civil service examination facilitates the law graduates or the law students in their preparation, because one paper is completely prepared by the students because they are having the law degree, and because of this prior knowledge of the law, their chances to clear the exam are always very, very better. Once you clear these examinations, you can take the administrative roles in the executive body of the India. You can be IS, you can be IPS, or in other some allied administrative services. You can also provide legal services in the Department of Legal Affairs in the Government of India. You can also be a part of the Legislative Council, and at very senior level, you can be a part of the Department of Justice, Department of the Indian government as secretaries, and all these things. That is through the civil service examination by having one optional subject as law. Then in government services also, you see, you can have the opportunity, because in India we see the government departments like Department of Law and Justice, Law Ministry, legislative wings of the ministries. They every time invites the vacancies for the law graduates, and they need the people with law degree for the appointment in government services. The government needs legal advisors for almost every department, and in the official language wing of the department of the any ministry, the legislative wing of the government of India, they also hires the lawyers who are fluent in the official languages, the languages which are the part of the eighth schedule in the Constitution of India. If they are aware of those languages, then as a translator or otherwise also, or for making or translating the laws, they are being appointed in the government services also. Then Indian legal services. So presently we don't have this thing, but in very near future we would have the Indian legal services of the same pattern as the IS, IPS. And the government has cleared its intention also on several occasions. You see that it is planning to introduce the Indian legal services, which could be styled like IPS and IS. So in the similar way, it can be there. So besides the civil services, whether it's the government service or it's Indian legal service, IPS and IS, another service sector where the student of law after clearing having the degree of law can reach, that is the public prosecutor, APOs, assistant public prosecutor. A prosecutor is a person, you see, who represents the victim in a criminal matter on behalf of the state. So, for becoming a public prosecutor in India, a law degree and then some experience in the court of law as an advocate, that is the requirement. And you can apply for that post. The examination is conducted by the Public Service Commission of the states for the post of public prosecutor. This is also having three stages test: the prelims, the mains, and the interview. After completion of these three rounds, that can be qualified and if selected, then can join as the public prosecutor. Then once the candidate is selected as the public prosecutor, APO, assistant public prosecutor, then there are different promotions after joining that particular initial position. Then judicial clerk. Now this is something which is coming very new, and the judges in the High Court and the Supreme Court, now they are being provided with the judicial clerks. So judicial clerk is an assistant to the judge in conducting the research on the cases that are with the particular judge. So for each judge of the High Court and the Supreme Court, the judicial clerks are appointed. So the duties of this judicial clerk vary from one court to other court and from one judge to the other. It depends that what type of research, what type of information that particular judge desires from the judicial clerk. So the requirements for becoming the judicial clerk is that the candidate must be a citizen of India and his age is also to be given in that below 27 years, and at the same time, a law degree is required, bachelor degree in law, and it must be from some school, college, university that is, I mean, recognized by the Bar Council of India for the enrollment as an advocate. So candidates who are appearing or enrolled for the fifth year or the 5 year integrated law program, they are also applied. They are also allowed to apply for this judicial clerk with the qualification, and at the time of the interview for starting the assignment as the judicial clerk, they can give their services also as research assistant. And one thing which is important for the judicial clerk is that the candidate, they must be literate, computer literate. They must be aware as to how to operate the computers and how to make the program, all the things regarding the computer. That means they should be tech savvy, including their abilities also to get the information, to get the judgments from online systems. That is, they can be having the knowledge of getting or searching through various search engines, the judgments like Supreme Court cases online, like LexisNexis, Westlaw, Manupatra. So they must be aware of that. These are some of the search engines through where they can have the information on the basis of which they can make or draft their research point on which the services are required from the particular judge. So judicial clerk is also one of the important area where a student after getting or completion of their LLB degree can apply for. Then the second sector is service and hiring of the advocate. So here the student, the candidate after completion of LLB can register himself or herself as an advocate. So with the private practice also can also be in the job, or can be can work for the others also. For example, can be appointed as the legal advisor in banks, legal advisor in multinational companies, in transnational companies, or a corporate lawyer or corporate counselor. So in this type of the situation, a law student who is registered as an advocate can give the advice as a legal advisor. So you see the MNCs, TNCs, besides that, this insurance companies also, banking sector, so they all they all having a legal department in which they hire the advocates and lawyers. So corporate lawyers, they help companies in complying with the rules and regulations of their industry. These legal advisors, they are also responsible for assisting their clients with all legal processes which are related to a company's formation, company's management. As a corporate lawyer, you need to have to advise your client in claiming liability, business transactions, and also have to represent in the court during trial. As a corporate lawyer, this is also very important that the, the student must be familiar of the subjects like competition law, company law, commercial law, contract, drafting, so banking law, financial law. So all these information or the knowledge of these laws are very important to become the legal advisor in the corporate sector. So this is one option which a law student can go for, because working in the corporate offices, legal department, that is creating contracts, negotiation, advising on the mergers, acquisition. So all these things are the area where the candidate or that the law student, that he has to give the advice. So one must look for the vacancies in the companies and legal department and then apply for it. This is usually accomplished by going to their official websites and emailing the applications, paperwork to the company's HR or manager. So this is one thing which can be done by a law degree holder. as a legal advisor in the corporate sectors, in the banking sectors, in the insurance sectors, and at the same time in MNCs and TNCs. So legal advisor position can be there. Besides that, there is journalism. Legal journalists are there, legal correspondents are there for the presses. They can write and blog also, because with the advent of this technology, we all know that the bloggers are also there. So this is one of the professional option for the law students, law graduates, to be in the media and journalism. If you are having writing skill, good writing skill, you are having your writing, your narration, your research skills, they are all developed during the law degree. When you do your law degree, then drafting is made. You are good in drafting. If you are good in the argumentative skills, your research skills are good. If you have participated in the moot courts, so all these skills are required for this legal journalism and writing of the blogs and blogging also. So if you have a passion for writing, then you can pursue a career in the legal journalism. However, you know that this field requires a strong communication skills and writing skills, and legal journalists attend the court hearings and report to the facts directly to the papers. You can write the articles for publication. That could be online through blog, website, and social media. You can work in the visual media also through television, YouTube channels. You can also write articles offline for publication in newspapers, in magazines, in periodicals. You see, Frontline, that is one of the magazines where many of the legal articles you will find, and there are many more magazines where you can write offline also for publishing your through this legal journalism. Because a legal journalist can also take part in the discussions and debates on legal issues and current affairs. So as a legal journalist, you must be very active. You must have the capacity and ability to find the mistakes. That you must be good in questioning also. You must be good in arguing also, because if you are a legal journalist and if there is any discussion or debate, then you must be good in inquiring, arguing, and questioning also. Your conversation and communication skills must be very good. So, as a lawyer, you must have all these qualities, and which are required for becoming a journalist also. So you have the added quality, you have the added benefit of being an advocate and then a journalist. So this is one of the important field where you can work as a legal journalist, because the press trust of India has a policy of employing the law graduates also in their organization. So you as an advocate can write reports as expert in political field, in criminal field, in corporate field of journalism, because you are having the understanding of the constitutional law, you have studied the criminal law, IPCC, RPC, you have studied the corporate and business law. So that background knowledge of yours, that would be very important for legal journalism. And this right to information, that is also very important, because matter comes there also in journalism. So law degree is very important for this RTI matters also. You can go for that. And if you are a law graduate with creative writing skills, you can pursue this as your career. You can be a blogger also in the legal field. There are many blogs which are dedicated to law and legal education. So a full-time content writer or law blogger, you can go for this job also. You can go for this profession also, and where you can learn very lucrative amount also, ranging between 30,000 to 1 lakh per month even. So as a legal journalist, you can opt for this also. Then another thing which you can have in this category is you can be a legal analyst. You can have some political policy analyst or legal researcher. This is another area where you can work after getting your LLB degree. So legal analyst must have a basic understanding of law, legal documentation, research in law and management. So you have to research and review the legal issues for recommendations to your employer. The employment may be from the government sectors, employment may be from the private sectors, so both ways. And there are vacancies, and you can apply for the legal analysis, legal researcher, and policy analysis. And legal analysts are also known as the paralegals or litigation analysis. And their work can vary a lot depending on the case they are working and who for they are working and assisting also, because they assist legal teams and lawyers in performing the research, for gathering the evidences, for preparing the legal documents, for doing some other work to help the lawyers and to do many other duties. So different type of the work may be there with different employers, but your main work is just to review the law and to gather the evidences as a research analyst and as a research or legal researcher. And you may be responsible for handling or tackling some of the systems and database also. So computer knowledge is also very important. And law graduates, as a law graduate, you would also work for the law firms or for corporations, doing legal studies of the company and its function. In order to practice the law, license to practice is a must. So legal analysis can also help with the drafting of various legal documents, and they can also provide help to the advocates and law personnel. And you see that the business also requires the lawyers, and because of their analytical leadership and the provocative skills also, they are having this type of the skills, so they can be said to be fit in this legal research and legal analyst job. And they can also be regarded for as a best counsel for policy making, because being in business policy analyst after law school, that is very lucrative if one has an aptitude for administrative and statistical and other abstract areas like future planning and protection also. So this is one of the area where the students can go for to work on the legal issues and not on the factual issues, because this legal analyst or legal researcher is a work where you have to see, you have to find, you have to analyze only and only legal issues, law related issues. A wide range of law related issues are covered under this legal analyst or legal researcher, which you can do if you are having that skill or that interest. Then one more area which you can go for after doing your LLB is the company secretaries or the chartered accountants. So once you have completed your LLB, you can also enroll yourself for the company secretaries courses. You can register yourself for the chartered accountancy program. And the combination of these degrees, the LLBCS or LLBCA, is very popular now. And the corporate world and the business organizations, they want the individuals who are having both the qualifications. So once you clear all the examinations, you will find numerous job opportunities in the market. And as a chartered accountant, you can have your own practice, and you can also be hired by the government organizations. The job profile and the package is very important, and this is one of the most important and lucrative for this combination, LLBCS and LLBCA. So for this, you have to enroll for the company secretaries exam, where there are three stages: foundation, intermediate, and executive. So if you are having the LLB degree, then you can directly reach to a later stage or advanced course of that degree, and you need not to go for the foundation or other degree. So that benefit will be given to the students of the company secretaries who have already have this LLB degree. So you can save your years here also. Then third factor where the students they can go for after getting this LLB degree is the self-employment, for which everybody says that after doing the LLB, one is going to become the Vakil Sahab or advocate or the lawyer. So the self-employment, first thing is that the litigation. Litigation is the advocating for the clients in a court of law. After completion of law degree, you need to get registered in the Bar Council and India, Bar Council of the state in which you desire to practice, and you need to appear and pass the All India Bar exam also for certificate of practice. Then you become the eligible to practice in the courts as an advocate. So, as per your interest and expertise, you can choose a specific field of law in which you want to litigate, in which you want to practice. For example, there are criminal lawyers. They are responsible for representing their clients in the court for criminal cases. They present cases in the courts for their client in the local court, high court, subordinate court, supreme court. And the criminal lawyers argue their clients' case in front of the judges. They can question the witnesses and the people related to their cases. They can review the evidences. So this field requires a strong investigative and interpersonal skills. You must also have a strong oration skills, as you need to present your client's case as strongly as possible. Because once you go for the litigation, you need to develop your oration skills, you need to develop your communication skills, besides having a good hold on the legal points, legal issues. Then, as a civil lawyer, you can also have the litigation as a civil lawyer, that you have to handle non-criminal litigation, but the duties are similar to that of the criminal law, because in civil lawyership, you can take over the litigation once a defendant hires them. Civil lawyer is responsible for all the cases which are related to property, which are related to the land, which are related to the family matters. So all these matters are related to the civil matters, and the civil lawyers, as a civil lawyer, you can go for that. And you have also to interview the people related to the cases. You have to filing various motions, hiring the experts for as witnesses. You have to present the cases and many more things. Like criminal lawyer, you have to be there. And there are many specializations in the civil lawyership. So you have to have many informations of various laws in the fields of the civil law. For example, as I told you, excise law is a part of that, the property law is the part of that, the taxation law is the part of the civil lawyering, personal law is the part of the civil lawyering. So all these things are, you have to be conversant about. You are to be aware about these laws. And besides being civil lawyer, there are some of the lawyers in a very very expertise and specific manner. They are the family matters lawyer. So the matters related or disputes related to the families, whether the separation or the divorce or some property of the person concerned, some testament. So these type of the issues are there. Then you can also act as the family matters lawyer. Then now the field is also coming up, that is the human rights lawyer. You can also act as a human rights lawyer, because they are at the forefront of the fight against all types of the breaches of the human rights all around the world. They take on the cases involving their clients which are related to their inherent dignity. They can take the cases of the vulnerable people, like senior citizens, LGBT community, refugees, indigenous persons, women, children, SC, so whatever. That is the violation of the human rights. If there is like that, then the advocates, they can work as the human rights lawyer as an expert also. And human rights lawyers also hold the government corporations and hostile groups accountable when they violate the abuse of the human rights. So you can work on the for the human rights courts also at international level, like European Courts of Human Rights, Inter-American Courts of the Human Rights, Amnesty International or Human Rights Watch, like government groups, non-government groups, NGOs. You can also work there as a human rights advocate or human rights lawyer. So human rights advocates are frequently employed by the corporations and law firms also these days. And this is one of the best option. that if you want to have a self-employment, you can also work as a human rights advocate. Then cyber lawyer, with the advancement of science and technologies, there are many crimes which are being committed online. So for that, understanding of the technology, understanding of the developments, scientific developments is important. And if you are having the degree of law, then you can go for the cyber lawyership also, because this represents the individuals, businesses, and government in disputes involving cyber crime. So, an excellent cyber lawyer must have a thorough understanding of internet activities, Internet of Things, and up to date knowledge about the technologies, artificial intelligence, what is the role of these technologies. If the lawyer understands all these things, then what is the big data, what is the Bitcoin, what is cyber security, what type of morphing may be there, what type of the different crimes may be committed against anyone, whether it's a women or men or the children, because everybody is now being facing these type of the crime, cyber crime. So this area is also flourishing now as an advocate in the cyber crime. So cyber lawyer is another option where you need to be have some skill in applying the relevant cyber laws to apply involving e-commerce, e-contracts, digital signature, intellectual property rights, and the related issues. So, as a cyber lawyer, you can also explore a profession of yours. And then law firms are also there, law companies there, entrepreneurship is there, legal outsourcing is another option. So you see that not only a single individual can act as an advocate, but they can also make a firm of lawyers, firm of advocates, known as the law firm. So more than two, three advocates, they can join together in the partnership, and then they can give their consultancy, etc. So this is also something which is coming up now in many of the metro cities, that they are these advocates, so they register themselves as the law firms, law companies, and then they provide their legal consultancy. So a law firm is another way to enter in the field of litigation, and this firm is a partnership that employs the lawyers of to represent their clients, and a law firm may be specialized in one area of the practice or other. Some of the law firms, they can give their consultancy only in the corporate matters, they can give the consultancy in human rights matters, they can give their consultancies in some criminal matters. So different types of the specific law firms may be there, or they may have the different types of the law firms where all types of the consultancies they can give by hiring different types of the lawyers in their law firm. So this may be a specialized law firms, or this may be a general law firm. So as a part of your law degree, you have to do the internship as in the legal firms or with some of the law companies also. And there you can also be offered as a pre-placement position, also considering your aptitude and skill. If the employer thinks that as an intern of in their law firm you can do good things, or your aptitude is good, your skills are good, then they can also offer you some placement position in their law firm also after completion of your law degree. So you have to be very careful also during your degree when you go for the internship. Then give your full, give your 100%, so that the others may also offer you the position. And you can focus on legal research, drafting, and paperwork also in these law firms, or you can represent the client in the court. So there are different types of the work in the law firm itself. You can sit on the table and chair, and you can draft the matter which has come for the consultancy, or you can appear in the court of law. Further, as an advocate, you can have the important characteristics of an entrepreneur also, and successful business owners. You can start your business also. You with your friends, you can have your own law firm, both in India and abroad also, which can be created or led by a law graduate. If you know about Indigo, then Godrej, so these are the firms which have been started by the law graduates only. And you can also think of a career in law abroad through legal outsourcing. Legal outsourcing is the process through which a law firm outsources its services to another law firm. Because once you have created your law firm, then you can also offer your services to another law firm. Another law firm may be in the same country, it may be in the other country also. Your law firm name can be enlisted internationally, you can operate internationally, and your law firm can send you for the consultancy for advices in the other countries also. So you can also make your career in law, because legal outsourcing is now a booming career opportunity with great potential and money also. Because once this is having the international arena, then you can find that in NLUs, particularly National Law Universities, the companies, they come and they take the students from National Law Universities as their consultant, as their legal advisor, on outsourcing, legal outsourcing also, to give them the opportunity to work with their legal firm. So these type of the opportunities are coming for the law graduate. And then fourth sector, which is important also for the law graduate, that if he doesn't want to be in service sector after doing the LLB, or if he doesn't want to be in the litigation or by self-employment, or to do something extra, to read something more, to have some higher study, then another opportunity which is available to the students of law is the higher education, which is related to the academics, which is related to the research and and teaching also. And this is the fourth option in the field of law. So students who are good in studies and they are also interested to make their career in the academia, in teaching and research, they can pursue for higher education. And teaching in law universities and law schools is very, very reputable and well-paid profession. For academics and research as a profession in law, you need LLM degree, you need UGC net qualification and PhD to work as an assistant professor in university, college, or law school. So LLM program are available both domestically and internationally. That is, you can do your LLM in India also. You can do your LLM in some foreign countries also. LLM is a 2 year program. LLM is 1 year program also. Then you can appear for admission in the LLM in the entrance exam, which is conducted by NTA, National Testing Agencies for the central universities. You can appear in the entrance exam for state universities, or entrance exam for CLAT, that is conducted for the NLUs, National Law Universities. Private universities also conduct their test or some other criteria for offering admission in LLM program. So for pursuing an LLM from outside India, you need to qualify the English proficiency test also, such as TOEFL, and apply to the appropriate college and institution abroad. So after LLM, you need to qualify UGC NET JRF test, that is National Eligibility Test and Junior Research Fellowship Exam in Law, which is based on your strong academic records. You should pursue a PhD in law after that. And you have to publish research papers in national and international journals. There are possibilities for research projects also from various agencies like National Human Rights Commission. They sponsor for the project, and BPRD, that is Police Research Department, they also give the money for project ICCSR, and many more organizations are there. UGC also tried to give earlier, but now it is not there. So there are many agencies which sponsor the research projects for which you can also apply. So you should choose law for many reasons, because you know that ignorantia juris non excusat. That is, ignorance of law is no excuse. So, as a citizen of India, you must know what the law is. And if you are a student of law, then this is one of the reasons that you have opted for understanding the law, because a law degree can give you the skills for any profession that requires the intellectual strength and practical approach. Because a law degree that can give you the skills to analyze critically, for drafting skills, research skills, argumentative skills, and presentation skills. Because a law degree can give you the understanding of the social behavior, the society function, because it is said that law is what? Law is to regulate the behavior in the society. So, as a student of law, you understand that. That can control the human conduct through rules also, because the law is something through which we are being governed, because ours is a country which is said to govern by rule of law. So, as a student of law, as holding the degree of law, you are aware that these are the rules and there cannot be any violation of that rule. If there would be violation of the rule, then of course penalty would be there, punishment would be there. So this is something which can control the human conduct through rules. And for an advocate, you need a perfect understanding of law and skills of a good advocate. Authoritative knowledge of law, mastery on facts, persuasion, English language, attention on every minute details, creativeness. This is all very much important for a law student. And if you want to be in advocacy, if you want to be in judgeship, if you want to be in academia, whatever or wherever you are, some of these special skills are very important, which a law student must have. So that is good communication skills must be there, both oral and written. So any of the job profile which I have just discussed with you, this communication skill is very important. This is the first thing which every law student must have, orally and written. If you can write, if your skills are good in writing, you can choose the profession which is related to that. If you are good at oral skill, then you can also choose a profession in which you are good. Then your analytical skills are important for this profession. Your creative skills are important for this profession. At the same time, you need to have some logical thinking skill ability. That is, you can think over something, you can realize, you can analyze, you can criticize the thing. So this logical thinking ability is also one of the important skill which you must have. Public speaking skills are important if you want to be in civil services, if you want to be in legal services, and these public speaking skills are important. Drafting skills are always important if you want to be in litigation, if you want to be in judiciary, if you want to be in academia. These drafting skills are always important. Leadership skills are important. Listening skills. It is said that the advocates, they all, do always speak. They don't listen to others. But listening skill is important, because if you are in litigation, so you have to pay attention towards your client, that what he or she is saying, what he or she is telling you, because this is not something which is recorded by them. They are just telling you something. So you have to listen very carefully what they said, because after listening them carefully, you can prepare your arguments, you can prepare your draft, you can prepare your writ. So listening skill is very important for an advocate. Then decision making skills, you have to decide what law is to be put on that particular matter, what type of the arguments you have to brought before the court. So decision you have to take, that what would be good for your client. That is also one of the special skills. Inquiring skill is important, because once you are in the court of law as a criminal lawyer, then in the examination, cross examination, and this examination in chief, main examination, you have to inquire, you have to question the others, the witnesses, etc. So that inquiring skill is also important for the advocate. Then comprehension skills, what do you understand by a particular thing, because if you go through the judgments of the court, then whether you are understanding what the judgment says about, whether you can flee that judgment in your argument or not. So this comprehension skill with convincing skills, that you with those arguments, what you understood, what you are comprehended, you are convincing to the court, you are convincing to your student, you are convincing to the your fellow advocates. This convincing skill is also very important. So all these type of the skills you should have, you should develop, you should work hard for that. If you are the owner of all these type of the skills, then nobody can beat. Mind it, nobody can beat you, nobody can say that you are not a good advocate or a lawyer, you are not a good professional in legal field. So these skills are important for any job profession, which I discussed with you. And finally, it is you, it is your aptitude, and it is your attitude which can take you to an altitude in this field of law, with your hard work, with your intelligentsia, with your comprehension, with your convincing skills, and at the same time with your communication skills. So, with these words, I would stop myself here. If there is any question, then you can ask me any of the question on the issue.